JC Penney calls are my most profitable ones right now. Need that shit to move tomorrow.
Did it not update my social alert? God damn it. It's saying the same thing that it said yesterday. Oh, it didn't update. Well. Irritating.
Did you cut Zuo already, Jim?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I think my order's still working. Yeah, order's still working right now.
Put way too much powder in my drink.
I just gotta fill that.
Drinking pre-workout?
G Fuel. I didn't want to drink a soda, and it's the only caffeine thing that I have right now. I don't like coffee.
Gotta get on that coffee game, bro.
What's going on, Crypto Moron? Oh shit, CHK is dumped. Yeah, I think I need to let this thing go before tomorrow's open. That's a bad loss. Alright, into tomorrow's open, I'm going to be holding WBA spread, Twitter spread, GNW put, and I've still got a Neo call, but it's like a lotto call. It's a $7 call. I bought it for $2. WBA bouncing right here on the close. 30 minutes till close. Twitter's bouncing too.
Jay, Disney supported that.
The SPY looks good for a bounce tomorrow. On open, we'll see.
Yeah, John, that's what I was looking at. Make sure that will.
Are you just confirming to close above it?
Yeah, I want to see confirmation tomorrow too on it.
Ooh, the daily on Disney looks really good. If you take this trend line from the bottom, Yeah, Disney could be a really nice play tomorrow. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? Crypto Ride, good to see you. Can you please check out CHK chart, see what happened, any fundamental news or something? I closed CHK, I just closed it right before you joined. Took a pretty hefty loss on it, but it was my smallest position out of all my options, so took about a 3% loss on the account, which is not too bad because I'm trading pretty high risk, high reward. What's going on here? Let's take a look. Hey, Keytoy with the resub, 17 months. I appreciate that, man. Welcome back, dude. Like a year and a half, man. Been a long time. Oh yeah, I forgot that was Joe Killer. What's going on, man? But yeah, CHK, man, it just failed the it failed to make a new high. So you can see here, it broke this uptrend here. It just never regained it. You broke that uptrend, came down. You broke that pivot. You broke your trail. You just didn't really have any buyers come in. Just basically a standard downtrend. Broke your uptrend into a downtrend. Nothing too fancy about it. I'm gonna delete these alerts and everything. Let me delete that. So our current positions, let me take this off my list. Our current positions are a GNW put, $4 put. Sadly, this is not doing well at all. It's not, I'm literally break even on this because there's no volume on Robinhood. So even though we're in the money by 7%, I'm not making any money on this. So we'll see how it opens tomorrow. They might readjust their prices, so I might be making some money tomorrow, but currently I'm not making any money, which is really pissing me off. Being 7% in the money and I'm not making any profit is kind of irritating. Twitter, I took a spread on Twitter. We have I bought the 38, sold the 39 on September 20th. We are currently break even on that. WBA, I'm buying the dip. I bought a little early, so we're down a little bit on that. I think about 10%. But I'm going to add on to this tomorrow if we see a nice bounce on the open. I bought a spread on that, bought the 55, sold the 57.50 for September 20th. So that one's looking good. I really like the pullback on the daily. It's bouncing off our trend perfectly. So as long as we have some buying pressure tomorrow morning, I'll probably definitely add on to this. Another one I'm watching for tomorrow morning is CTL. Basically same exact play as WBA. Falling wedge, breakout, uptrend. Falling wedge, breakout, uptrend. This is where we're watching for support tomorrow. I want to see it start bouncing around 1175, maybe 1165. But I would like it to get some buy pressure towards the beginning of the day. We're going to watch that during the open. Nothing really else that I'm watching. I'm still keeping my eye on Ford. I didn't really see a good entry today, so I'm still waiting on that. AMRN, I'm going to keep my eye on for the next few days, because if you look at the weekly, it looks like it's getting ready to explode. You have an ascending triangle with a triple top. So this could take a while. This could be like a month or two down the road. But this thing looks like it will explode pretty soon. Or not pretty soon, but when it does break 23, it will explode. Glue is another one that I'm still watching. You do have that accumulation towards the low on this impulse move down. You do have earnings coming up on July 31st. I will look for a breakout of glue. I thought this was the breakout, but it got instantly rejected, so I want to see glue recover tomorrow. If we can recover and break the high of like 744, I'll probably look for an entry. Veritone I've been watching for a while. You did break your downtrend here, but it looks like you're coming back into it. So if tomorrow, if we can pop up, I might look to enter. I would like to enter a little lower though. I want to enter down towards this other trend. So if we can pull back down towards our uptrend, that would be a good entry. You do have a ton of resistance above you, so you have that pivot and you have that trail. So you want to see those get broken to the upside before you can really start making money. Yeah, I would like to buy the dip instead of buying here. You don't see a lot of volume on that breakout, so most likely it was a time decay breakout. You were just breaking by the consolidation, not by an actual breakout. So we'll look for a pullback down to trend before getting in. I like JP Morgan. JP Morgan's holding this pivot. You broke above the pivot, now you're resting on top of it. So I would like to see JP Morgan perform, but the banking industry has been kind of a little off and on there. What was the bank I was looking at earlier? It wasn't Bank of America. Let me see. Which one was it? It was one of the banks I was looking at earlier today. They weren't doing very good. We'll have to see how that plays out. I think JP Morgan's definitely looking pretty good though. Ascending triangle formation. But kind of the same play as Ford. You had that curl up in the break of the top of the triangle. Ford still has a lot of room to run here. You could pull up a volume profile and I can almost guarantee you there's not a lot of volume in here. You probably have a volume gap you could target. Yeah, so you could see probably like 1065, 1070. You don't have a ton of volume up here. Your volume, your high volume nodes are below price, around 950 to 850. You do have like consolidation volume here, but not too heavy. Been on a pretty healthy downtrend though. On the longer term, you're looking at like the weekly. You can see this downtrend is pretty massive. It's pretty choppy. You might be able to clean it up with a linear regression. Let's see. Yeah, you've got a 94 Linreg here, and you're right at the top of that Linreg. So, very, very dangerous to play that on Ford. 94R on a linear regression is very high. Anything over about 80 is you want to pay attention to. The closer it is to 1, the stronger it is, and this is a 94. So this downward channel here is very, very healthy. And you're right at the top of that channel, so we'll see what it does. You do have like a Linreg channel here on the upside, though. If you take the low candle here, you probably have about an 80 or higher. Yeah, 80, 89. That's pretty good as well. So you could look to buy the dip around this pivot or around the 72 moving average, which would give you around 1015 to 1030. Let's see what else we're looking at here. I called that one out already. JCPenney still trying to hold that trend, but not looking too good. You can see that pivot above is acting as almost an ascending triangle high. So this pivot right here at like 117 is acting as your high. You've already tested it 1, 2, 3 times and you've failed every single time. But if you can find support here and you can break that pivot around 117, you could definitely see like 124 on this top doji. Or 123. You're right on a 4-hour pivot as well. So you have a 4-hour pivot bar here, and you're right on that as support. Win was one that JMA was trading. Looks like it would be a nice pullback if you got down to like 133. But until then, you do have some resistance coming in. You have a pivot right here that it failed pretty much perfectly. You got a beautiful top doji, and now you're getting another pivot. So you have a lot of resistance up here. If you can break this after a pullback, you could probably see a gap fill of this gap to 147. If you traded it at 133, target 147, it would give you about a 10% target. Perfect pivot failure on the daily there. Almost to the penny. Let's see, it topped out at 141.26. The high is 140.94, so about 30 cents off. And we're seeing a top doji, so you do have some heavy resistance coming in on that doji there. GE, of course. What was my expiry on GE? Wasn't it July 19th?
Yeah.
So I'd actually almost be in the money now if I held on to it. What a joke. Look at that. I had a $10 put. Yeah. It was a small trade anyway. That's hilarious. Let's take a look at the $10 puts. How much are they up? It was on July 19th. $10 put. Oh, they're dirt cheap. 5 cents, 6 cents. So I think I'd still be down a lot. I can't remember what I bought it for. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, I'd be getting reamed. I bought it at 24. So that was a good sell. GNW still has no volume. So hopefully the market adjusts their bid and ask tomorrow after they see this massive close to the downside. This has completely lost its uptrend. You're in a bearish fork. You're getting more and more bearish as it makes lows. You can see it's getting basically parabolic on the way down on the shorter time frames. There's no reason our put should not be making money here. We do have some support coming in around 365. That's actually where I wanted to take profit. But unless they heavily adjust their prices tomorrow, I'm going to have to hold on to it for a little bit longer. Pepsi was one that JMA's been trading a lot. We've been keeping an eye on it on stream. Very, very strange price action we're seeing on Pepsi. You've got about 5 dojis in a row. No real trend in either direction. You can see here on the new indicator, it's giving you the gray candles, which means it's neutral. So it's not giving you a direction to trade it. You are still in that bullish channel though, which should give you that pop, but you're not seeing the pop. And you saw the attempt to pop 2 times, but it failed the high both times. So this is the first test of the channel that did not give you a higher high. So you have the creation of the channel, higher high. First test, higher high. Second test, higher high. Third test, you're not able to make a higher high. So it looks like your trend is shifting, but you're still in the channel. So this could still be one test and you could still pop higher. But if you do fail like 132.19, 132.10, it's not looking too good. Microsoft pulling back towards our bull flag, our bullish pennant here, ascending triangle, whatever you want to call it, pulling back towards our trend. We do have an alert set there at 136.47. I'm going to keep my eye on Microsoft. USO's pull. Go ahead.
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, that's a good call. So if they don't have a massive move on earnings, I'll probably trade it in the direction of the trend. But if they have a major move, then I'm just going to let it go. USO is pulling back pretty heavily. If you follow the oil market, let's take a look at crude. Crude is failing the 72 moving average here. You have failed your trail. You're down to 56.62 per barrel. This is probably a bear div. It looks like a pendulum swing. Take a look. What time frame was that? Daily? Yeah, that's a bear div. You can tell by just looking at these patterns. You don't even need an oscillator. Typically, when you see this pattern, I call it a pendulum swing. It's going to be a bear div or a bull div. And you can see a massive bear div here on the Momo. So basically, if you see a move that has a small impulse up, you have a big failure down, and then it swings into a new high, and then you fail. More often than not, that's going to give you a bear div. Same thing to the upside. Or sorry, to the down, the bullish. This would give you a bull div. And I have this marked in my playbook if you guys are in the Discord. I don't have the bearish one, but I do have the bullish one. I could probably mark the bearish one here. If you guys are looking for Bitcoin, you did have a massive loss in momentum here on the daily. On the Momo, you can see how strong the momentum was on this push up. And then look at the momentum on that second push up there. Basically non-existent. And then you saw that massive failure down towards that previous doji support there around 94. I did start picking it up on our comp account. I had laddered orders from... Let's see, I have it down here. I had laddered orders starting from 94, what was it, 94.50 all the way down to 87.50. My first 3 orders got filled, and we're currently up about 3%, I think. Let me take a look. Currently up about 2% on the comp account on that trade. Microsoft just gave me an alert. What's going on? They selling off on the close? Microsoft selling off on the close. This will be interesting tomorrow morning. 5 minutes till close. And it's already selling off. You could big dick it here and buy some calls if you think the earnings is going to be good tomorrow, but I wouldn't do that.
Big dick it.
Yeah, you gotta big dick it, man. You gotta buy some calls, predict the earnings play. Bouncing right off that trend. This could be a big move if their earnings is good. Their last few earnings haven't been bad. Microsoft's one of those companies. It's kind of like Johnson and Johnson. It's pretty much untouchable. It has bad earnings. It might dip for a little bit, but it continues to go up. Johnson and Johnson released that. I think they're getting sued for another cancer thing. I didn't read too much into it, but they're pretty much untouchable. They probably will recover pretty easily in the next few weeks. It does look like it's topping out though, so you might want to buy Johnson & Johnson lower around like 120, 125 if you're looking long term. Johnson & Johnson has consistently higher dividends for the past like 8 to 10 years, I think. So if you're into dividend stocks, Johnson & Johnson's definitely one of the biggest. Not a very big yield. I think it's like less than 1.5% dividend yield, but still not bad. Big stocks that have dividends, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, Verizon. They've got pretty decent dividend yields. Looks like you have an engulfing candle coming in here on Bitcoin on the hourly. You do have support around 96.50. We'll see how that plays out. If you guys want me to take a look at anything, feel free to put it in chat. I can look at equities, crypto, forex, whatever you want. I don't trade forex, but it's still technicals. I can show you some technical patterns. Market's getting ready to close. You got about 2 minutes left. Let's look at Microsoft here. Microsoft's starting to bounce. How big of a sell was that? A little over 600,000. GBP USD. Let's take a look. You're looking at the pound. This looks like a pattern that would have a bull dip as well. So let's go take a look at the Momo and see if I'm right. Yeah, this has a bull dip as well. So this is like a three, how would you say it? It's like a 3-tiered pendulum swing. But you can see here it has a bull dip as well. So the daily looks like this will pop once it gains some momentum. You could probably see 125.20, 125.50. So how you would place your targets on bull divs like this. Let me get rid of VWAP. It's making my chart look a little ugly. So on the bull divs here, you would target the low and the high. So the low doji and the high doji would be your targets. So you have your target there around 1255 and then 1273. You could also target the doji in the middle of the first swing around 1262. Nvidia's running. Let's take a look. Nvidia looks really good. Nvidia gave you a buy signal down here on the Momo. You had increasing momentum. Looks very good. Strong uptrend here on the daily. Very strong piercing bottom. These V bottoms are very healthy. As long as you can maintain higher lows, the V bottoms are very strong. You're coming into your 200-day moving average though, 174.72. So you want to keep an eye on that. You're also losing momentum currently. So I bought Twitter and WBA in the gold area on the Momo, which is a little scary because that means it's most likely going to pull back or consolidate. I sold G and W in the gold on Momo, which is perfect. This is what I'm gonna worry about on Twitter, is this gold on the Momo. You topped out here. Beautiful purple here, buy right at the bottom. This purple was a little early. Very strong momentum gain on this low. CTL has a massive bear div, so it's probably going to pull back to around 1150. So I'll wait for like 1150 to get in that. You got a bear div on win as well. Disney starting to top out. Cisco topping out. Pepsi, is that a bear div? No, it's not. You are losing momentum on Pepsi though. Microsoft, massive bear div. So Microsoft most likely will fail depending on earnings. Seeing bear divs on almost everything here. USO had a bear div. Let's look at the SPY and see if the SPY... Yeah, it's because the SPY has a bear div. The SPY has a massive bear div here. The SPY might actually open up red tomorrow. You also look like you have like a rising wedge. And it's breaking to the downside right on the close. So we just closed. The SPY will most likely continue this red tomorrow. We will see. Probably finish its pullback around 295-ish, 29475. GE had a massive bear div there too. I probably could have held that if I saw that bear div, but it doesn't matter. I actually saved money by letting that go. Very big bull div here on Bitcoin, which perfectly predicted the bottom. You are failing your pivot right here. If you guys use my pivot levels.
Four-hour doesn't look good either.
On Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's failing the pivot. Top doji. 4 hour is a massive bull div though, and it hasn't really played out. I'd say as long as you can hold this doji around 94, you'll probably see 10-2.
I was looking at shorting 10.25.
Yeah, Keytoy, sorry, I need to fix that. I'll do that right now before I forget. There you go, I fixed it. What'd you say, Sticky?
No, I was just gonna short where you were looking as well.
Yeah, 10-2, that doji looks good. Ooh, I don't like how Twitter closed.
A lot of them didn't close well.
Yeah, Twitter did not close. Nice. I'll see how that opens tomorrow. WBA I'm still fine with. GNW still fine with. CTL had massive volume on the close there. I want to see CTL get lower. BA just broke the downtrend. Are you talking about Bank of America? Oh, Boeing, yeah.
Jesus, look at the close on Pepsi.
Alright, BA looks good. JMA. Ton of resistance on these pivots. Was Pepsi rough?
Go to the 5-minute.
It's actually not too bad though, because it got bought up, but yeah. Yeah, it looks like the volume was on the buy side. Because you have a 100k sell candle, but you have a long wick.
Yeah, it's been wicking like JMA was talking about, like crazy.
But if you look at the 1 minute, this looks terrible because you have your break of your downtrend, or sorry, break of your bullish channel, pop up, failure, retest, failure, and then we sold off. Yep. Break, first test. Yeah, the hourly's not pretty. You just broke your 72.
Wells Fargo had a nasty close.
Yeah, JMA said nasty close on Pepsi. Yep. Wells Fargo, I think that's the one I was looking at. Yeah, Wells Fargo is the one I was looking at. I was looking at a banking stock earlier today that was doing terrible. Well, I didn't really want to get into JP Morgan. Looks like a descending triangle. Three-day pivot right here as support at 44.72. He just released earnings, which was actually pretty good. They typically pay their dividends pretty close to their earnings. So it's going to drop from that dividend pretty soon. The 72 moving average on Bitcoins has been perfect lately. Tap failure, tap failure, tap failure. Got chopped out a little bit back here. You do have a green trail on Bitcoin. You are running into that Linreg midline though, if you take the channel here. You're actually a little bit above the midline. Out the Dow. The Dow closed about 100 points down. Nothing really else on my watch list right now. Let's see. You have a double bottom here. Major volume came in on EXK. USAS, America Silver Company. We were just talking about silver today. Look at this penny stock for silver. Massive uptrend forming. Just broke out. That would have been a great entry on that pivot. Around 236. APTO, Bioscience Company. Probably had some big news today. Looks pretty good as well. Are there any options on USAS? Let's take a look. No, not really. What's the other one? It was EXK. No options on this either, really. I guess we'll switch to crypto here now that the market's closed. Take a look. Ethereum is rejecting its 72 moving average almost perfectly. You do have a top doji and a pivot being formed right on that previous pivot. You do have a lot of support coming in though, so if you can bounce off like 206, you're still bullish. Or even this pivot over here. 4 hours, pretty ugly though. You do have like an inverted hammer here. You still have about a $150 premium on December. Looks like the alts are still getting crushed. Ethereum. ADA is actually breaking its downtrend, it looks like. ADA
Ripple is leading the charge as usual.
Yeah, ADA broke its downtrend, so it could be one to watch. BCH coming up for a nice little higher low here. It looks like all the alts are starting to recover. Litecoin had a nice pump there. Very ugly inverted hammer there. Bronze still filling a pivot. Ripple is the only one above its 72. The Ripple doesn't look too bad. You're above that pivot as well. BNB also above its pivot. Mana looks like it's getting ready to pop in the next few days. You can see this uptrend is starting to form.
Take a look at Theta.
Theta had a ridiculous spike here. Pump and dump. 50%, not too bad. You can tell the alts are doing well because look at our scanner compared to what it was doing like a few days ago. The scanner's calling out a bunch of stuff.
Damn, can you pull up a XZC?
Not looking too bad either. Oh, that just got an alert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
CCI was really high.
that just got an alert. Oh, it called that out early. It called that out at 9:20, 9:23 at 3 p.m. So it called it out once it started to break this second high here. Nice little 4% scalp. It started pumping these. If you look at the potential breakouts, it started pumping these at, holy shit, there's a lot of them. Yeah, like 1 p.m. It started really pumping these. This is what our scanner looks like, guys. I can show you. So you can see from like 1 p.m. it really started to pump these out. These are all potential breakouts forming big movers. It called out APPC for a potential bottom, and it looks pretty good. You got a double bottom here. Starting to pop up into a higher low. The daily's still pretty ugly, but the shorter time frame's starting to bottom out. Hey, Warm Popsicle, I appreciate the follow, man. What are you guys in chat looking for tomorrow open? You guys got any stocks you're watching? Oh, the SPY did not close pretty. Look at the SPY on the close. 4 million sell-off. That is not pretty. I just got an alert. CHK hits 52-week low, dude. RIP. Good thing we let that thing go. You know what I want to do real fast? Let's make a new screener. Oh, they have an unusual volume one. What's this one have? Oh, it's literally only relative volume. Most volatile. What's this do? Not really doing anything. Alright, let's create a new one here. Let's go ticker, last, high. Don't need the high. Let's get rid of that. Change percentage, sure. Volume, yep. Relative volume, sure. Float. Don't need that. EMA 10, 20, 30, or 10, 20, 50, yes. Okay, so let's do above. Last. Or hold on, I don't think this is right. I think these are for the actual EMA, not price. Because I wanted to do price is above the EMA 10, not the EMA 10 is above its last close value. I think that's what it's doing. I'm guessing above value. No, that's not right either. No, it has to be price, because why would it say open, high, low? Because there is no open, high, low of an EMA based on a candle period. Let's do above last, above last, above last. Okay, let's also do I just want to see positive. How do I just make it positive? Or let's do above 0. Here we go. relative volume above 1. Let's see what else we can add here. It added a shit ton of columns, that's for sure. They don't have the Donchian channel midline, that's irritating. They've got the low and the upper. Oh, you can do an Ichimoku baseline now, nice. Add that. Oh, I'm doing these opposite. I'm doing these opposite. These should be below. Here we go. That's why it's saying sell. I've been doing these backwards. There we go. That's much better. Here's the conversion line. Let's do above. Or this needs to be below, sorry. I really hate that you can't make your own numbers. You have to use the ones they give you. And that's the biggest problem with their screener. Is you can't customize. You can only use the indicators they give you. Yeah, that's still giving us 500 matches. That's too much. So let me fix this. Let's put this above 1. I dropped it down to 200. Volume I don't really need. Let's do strong relative volume movers. Let's drop this down to 150. Still too much. Drop it down to 100. Don't need that. Alright, so I added a 200 here. Still gave us 92 matches. That's incredible. There's a lot of things that are uptrending right now. We don't want to trade the shitty ones, so let's pull up a market cap. Put that next to volume here. Go higher than 200 million. Let's do 500 million. Alright, that looks good. Alright, now let me save these. Save screen as... Alright. Go through these. So already we've got a massive gap up on whatever this is. A-Bot Laboratories. Massive uptrend. Looks pretty good. Evening Star though, so you're going to pull back pretty heavily. Oops. FNV, nice uptrend here, broken to a new high. Close that. You've got earnings coming up. Why does it keep going back to that? S-Gen, massive volume came in here. They must have had good earnings. They actually had bad earnings. That's pretty weird. 30% bad earnings, and they gapped up heavily. Seattle Genetics. Take a look at that. Not a whole lot of open interest on their contracts. I probably wouldn't trade or on their contracts. Oh my god, why does it keep doing that? That's irritating. SJW Group. Terrible name. Uptrend breaking a pivot here. Actually looks pretty good. You got earnings coming up on the 24th. Zero open interest. What the hell is that? Sticky and J-May, if you're there, look at this. NCBS. Bank shares.
What's the volume?
Look at that open. Oh, it's because it's a shit stock. There's no volume on this thing. Don't even worry about it. Let me actually go to our volume filter here. I don't want anything below 500,000. ENFB Pinnacle Financial Partners looks pretty good here. Got a wedge forming. Most of these are banking stocks. US Bancorp. A really nice close here. They had earnings today. They beat earnings. Strong open on earnings, pulling back. Could be one to watch. Take a look at the options. What is it? USB? Pretty decent open interest on their options. Spreads are pretty wide though. Yeah, spreads are huge. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the different things. Spreads aren't that bad. 4 cents. 2 cents. Check out USB. What do you guys think about that one? Had good earnings. It's bull flagging. The daily is on a healthy uptrend. He like broke out of an ascending triangle here.
I don't know. I got played on my last 2 breakout trades.
Yeah.
I want to avoid doing that.
The market's also pulling back, so. Jesus. They went up 108% on August 16th. Those earnings plays. Look at AEM. This thing's on a tear. Was this the one you were talking about earlier, JMA? It's a gold one too. Gold's doing well. Doing pretty good. Gold and silver are both doing pretty good. It's got earnings on the 24th.
Yeah, SLV did really well today.
Got a lot of options on it. Oh shit, they're expensive as hell.
Look at SLV.
Oh, they're not that expensive. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Yeah, SLV I saw. Looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. AEM. The 55 calls are $1.04. 55 is pretty high though. gonna keep an eye on this one. God, I hate their screener so much. It's irritating. Fidelity, look at Fidelity. Fidelity spiked up today on good earnings, 21% above. Very strong uptrend. You already broke your highs. Fidelity looks really good. It's at an all-time high. Price discovery on on good earnings. That could be one to watch for sure. I bet the calls are exploding. Was it F and F? Yeah, it's F and F. Oh, there's actually not a lot of options on this. MDU resource. Looks pretty good, ascending triangle. You just broke your downtrend. High volume on the day. Good volume on the close. See if they have options. No options. That sucks. Always these good stocks that don't have options. Marvel Tech Group, I think JMA watches this one. They just paid dividends not too long ago. Wheaton Precious Metals doing really good. Seems like the metals industries, the gold, the silver, are all doing pretty good. 9% move on the weekly. Pretty much all from today. Neo, not the Neo that we traded, but another Neo, NEO. Doesn't look too bad. Decent options. It's currently at 24. You could buy the 25s for about 90. That actually doesn't look too bad. I'll keep my eye on that. NVTA just came back to V-stop on the daily. Hitting its pivot though and failing. This looks pretty good. Ladder break, ladder break. As long as you stay above around $20, you're looking pretty safe. Let's see if they have options. Cura. Always these good ones, no options. AES does not look bad at all. You have a bullish channel here. You just hit the top of your channel. Decent options on this as well. Pretty good open interest. Spreads are a little big. Gonna put some alerts on this if it pulls back to the low of the channel. This looks like it's getting ready to break out in the next few days. Pretty good volume coming in. SVMK, let's take a look at this. Not a lot of open interest until October. This looks like it's breaking its downtrend. Yeah, this definitely could be something to watch. 1750s. Do they have 1750 calls? Yeah, they do. You could get them pretty cheap too. Not a lot of open interest though. They went up 17% today on the contracts, the 1750 calls for August 16th. Only a 3% move. Pretty big move though. MTSI is breaking its downtrend. Massive move today. 13%. You probably missed the boat on that one, but it looks pretty good. You got earnings coming up on the 31st. You had perfect buy signals right before that move up. This looks pretty good coming into a double top, cup and handle. Yeah, this thing could continue tomorrow. SSRM, let's take a look at that. Very low open interest. September has good interest. So we could keep an eye on this. This is also a metal miner, so these metal companies are doing pretty good. The $15 calls went up 70% today. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. I like this one as well. So I have these color coded. Yellow are the trades that I'm currently in. Blue are the markets. Purple are the bottom reversals. Sorry, red are breakouts, breakout plays. Purple are bottom reversal. Yellow, the ones I'm currently in, and then blue are the markets. And then these ones are just ones that I'm watching, but not too closely. They're just kind of on my watch list. This one's breaking a downtrend, but you're already pretty far above it. This doesn't look too bad either. Nice consistent higher lows. Went up 5% today. Another silver company. These metal companies, man, they're killing it. A lot of open interest on the $10. $10 calls are very, very popular here. That's actually not a bad call either. $10 call for 145. That's not too bad. You're already well in the money. You're in the money by almost $1. You'd have to break your trend line to get below that, be out of the money. We'll keep our eye on that. I think we're almost done here. Another silver company mooning. 9:30 already. A10 Networks doing well. These are all mining companies. This one looks pretty good. Pretty low price too. 186. Holy shit. Got windy as hell outside. Let's see if there's any options on this MUX. Pretty good open interest on the $2. Yeah, massive open interest on these $2. Ton of interest on January. Take a look at MUX Sticky. Got a ton of interest on these $2 calls. November's got 2,000. August has 3.4 thousand. January's got 7,000.
It's another breakout play, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's a mining company with silver. You'd be kind of tardy to the party on this one. You missed the little dip there. If it consolidates above 186, it could be definitely one to watch. But what are you looking for if you're not looking for breakout plays? You're looking for just like buying in the money, trending stocks?
Yeah, basically trend line taps and solid opens on the next day, second day play.
Gotcha, okay.
At least I think that's safer than playing breakouts.
Yeah. I like this one as well. Did Mag have good interest? Let's see. It had good interest on the $10. That's not too bad. I'll keep my eye on this one as well. But alright guys, I'm going to call it on that. It's been about an hour and a half stream. I was just kind of chilling, building some things to look at for tomorrow's open. I think the SPY is going to open up pretty red tomorrow unless we bounce right at the open because we're not looking too good on these shorter time frames. You have a break of trend on the SPY. You broke your pivot. You broke your 72 moving average. You did have a healthy amount of bearish volume there right at the close. So if we don't see an immediate buyback on the open, you probably will see a red day tomorrow on the SPY. So keep that in mind. The Dow Jones also closed, I think, yeah, almost 100 points down. So keep an eye on the markets tomorrow. You want to see a buy up in the beginning of the day. If not, you'll probably close red. But we'll be streaming. JMA is going to be streaming tomorrow on the open. And I'll be in voice chat hanging out with him and Sticky and the other guys in Discord. So make sure you guys follow JMA. That's where we'll be hanging out tomorrow morning. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys.